Choosing the right high school option is a process that should be informed by the potential goals, interests, and dreams of a teen. Sometimes a change in high school is necessary for a student to have access to the programming they need to get the skills and preparation to achieve their goals for after high school. This screencast will review different questions parents and families commonly ask as they partner with their teen in the choice process for high school. You might wonder what we mean by high school programming options for transition IEPs. Well, we mean different ACE Connect Career X and Career Days for career exploration, individualized and varied transition assessment activities for each student, the School to Work Alliance program services, which are based on youth eligibility through the Department of Vocational Rehabilitation. Ask your teen's case manager about the intake process. We mean targeted and relevant academic and skills assessments for post-secondary education goals. For the technical college, maybe the TABE diagnostic testing. For community college, Accuplacer diagnostic and practice, or specifically targeted SAT prep and case management supports. For public and private university, we mean specifically target SAT and prep case management tools. For industry-sponsored professional certificates, we mean access to academic testing to assess their grade-level skill requirements for a certification program. We also mean for on-the-job skill training and professional endorsement, maybe a task analysis and observation to support effective training. Work experience study for credit towards graduation is also provided in all schools. Different activities for a student's ICAP, their individual career and academic plan. There's in-school work-based learning opportunities, either at school-based businesses or at assistantships. There is community work-based learning activities that are organized by schools and are on volunteer sites. There's also entrepreneurship education through the ACE Connect pathway, community partners, and Business Connect through Denver Public Schools Career Connect. There are financial literacy courses through ACE Connect and community partners, internship opportunities that are district-sponsored, city-sponsored, and School to Work Alliance program-sponsored. There are career skills courses through ACE Connect, job readiness training, and Skills for Young Professionals training through Career Connect. There is specialized instruction for academics and behavior to meet long-term transition goals. This is determined by the IEP team. There are career and technical education programs that are school-based. There are inter-school agreements so that your teen could go to CEC Middle College or to the Emily Griffith Technical College. Career Connect Explore programming is also available for career exploration. ACE Connect Community Engage programming can provide, through a partnership with your school, RTD introduction training, Denver Public Library Idea Lab workshops, Denver Parks and Recreation Passport program, a Facing Transition programming where we look at adults who have a successful transition into adulthood, a Financial Health Institute workshop partnership, a Colorado Able Account workshop partnership, and also a partnership with the Atlantis Community Center around different workshops on disability disclosure. Your teen can also participate in school-sponsored or organized extracurricular activities, clubs, sports, student leadership associations, drama, music activities. Those all should be accessible to your student as well. There is also transition programming to support your child to transition into higher education through ACE Connect. There is a spring course each year for students entitled Transition to Higher Education hosted on the Auraria campus. Ask your child's case manager how they may apply and if they are appropriate for the programming. Remember, your teen's chosen competency pathways to their high school diploma will be built into transition programming, depending on the focus of their goals and needs for after high school. Please take time to watch the video on 2021 graduation requirements if your teen is graduating that year or beyond. Reach out to your child's case manager or your school counselor with questions. The best advice is, it's important to know what classes and activities at your child's school would support your child's interests, values, and goals. If you can make time, visit the school. Support your teen to advocate for effective accommodations to be in place so your teen can access and truly belong to the student communities created by the wide variety of course and school activities programming that will support their transition into adulthood. If you are not sure what those accommodations are, check your teen's IEP or talk with their case manager to make that discussion happen. What are the differences between transition programming options at different schools, including charter schools? Well, at most schools the options are going to be very similar. Charter schools have access to most options for the programming that we just talked about on the previous slide. Please refer to the video transcript for a full written list of everything that was named. If your teen is attending a charter school, you should ask how the general all-school programming for academics is structured. This is because some charter schools have a focused mission that may not be in line with your teen's goals for after high school. It is best that their goals align with their school's vision for graduates. How do high school transition programming options affect after-school options like college, adult disability day services, or employment? Parents should consider schools that have general programming options built into the school day already aligned to the different goals their teen has for adulthood. This is so their teen can take advantage of the varied and specific programs that would already meet the needs of a general and specific goal for after high school. For example, if your teen has goals in performing and creative arts, consider applying for the Denver School of the Arts or Coons-Miller Creative Arts Academy, because their general whole school programming supports growth in performing and creative arts skills. Or if your teen has goals in specific skilled trades careers like electronics, automotive, or computer-aided design, Montbello Career Tech High School or CEC would be great options to explore. Another example of making sure your teen's high school programming supports your teen's goals is if your teen has a goal to study and start a career in engineering. Check at John F. Kennedy High School for their Engineering Connect pathway to see if it would be a great fit. Again, when considering charter schools, parents should consider the school-focused mission. For example, they may have a singular focused college prep mission like DSST Network schools, or an expeditionary learning focus like the Rocky Mountain School of Expeditionary Learning. When you know these missions and what they do exactly to help a student meet the focus of these goals through whole school programming, you can reflect with your teen to decide if the school will support their goals for adulthood in their transition plan. What kind of programming is the best match for my teen's goal of being successful in college? If your teen's post-secondary transition plan goals in career and education require them to successfully complete a college or university program, all DPS high schools have general programming in place that will support them to get there. DPS graduation requirements for the class of 2021 and beyond are aligned with the coursework outlined by the recommendations for higher education in the state of Colorado. Your teen should work closely with their high school counselor and, if available in their school, the Future Center, to ensure they are enrolled in specific courses to build skills that are aligned with their career interests. Your teen should also work closely with their case manager to understand and use and advocate for the different accommodations that support them to demonstrate their learning and not their disability when it comes to reading, writing, math, navigating physical environments, using technology effectively, or developing strong social relationships. If your teen's post-secondary transition plan goals in career and education require them to successfully obtain competitive employment in a career field where they can advance and get additional training to grow their skills, ask the high school your teen is considering if they have an ACE Connect pathway or a work experience program for students. Your teen will still meet the DPS graduation requirements in coursework for the class of 2021 and beyond. This coursework is aligned with the coursework outlined by the recommendations for the higher education in the state of Colorado. As a result, if your teen shifts in their goals for after high school and those goals require education and training in a college environment, they will have all they need to be a prepared applicant for the college that matches their education and training needs. Your teen should work closely with their high school counselor to ensure they are enrolled in specific courses to build skills that are aligned with their career interests. Your teen should also work closely with their case manager to understand, use, and advocate for the different accommodations that support them to demonstrate their learning and not their disability when it comes to reading, writing, math, navigating physical environments, using technology effectively, or developing strong social relationships, as well as explore the accommodations that support them most to be an effective employee in workplace settings for their career goals. Are there any high school transition programming options that help my teen get a job? In Denver Public Schools, there are over 15 ACE Connect pathways at high schools in every region. This pathway provides direct instruction as well as school-based and community-based learning to support your teen to get a job. Programming access through the ACE Connect pathway should be documented as transition activities and services in the IEP. In every high school, teens with IEPs have the opportunity to connect with the School to Work Alliance program, or SWAP. If a student is not eligible for SWAP services, they can explore if a connection to the Department of Vocational Rehabilitation, or DVR, is a good fit to support them to get a job. Connecting to SWAP and DVR is a part of the IEP process, and in the IEP, it should be listed under interagency linkages or activities and services. Are there any high school transition programming options that help my teen make friends? All schools have extracurricular activities that all students should be able to access, and accommodations should be discussed and implemented if these are necessary for access. Programming and services to support your teen to make friends would be a part of the IEP transition plan for community experience. Depending on your child's disability and the services outlined with related service providers or mental health providers, these services would be documented in the LRE service grid. When you and your teen are considering high schools, ask about school clubs and inclusive programs like Unified Sports or Unified Drama or ROTC so that students can participate in those general and specific programs as a part of transition activities and services that prepare them for a community experience that includes friends and relevant relationships with peers and supportive adults. How can my teen take classes part-time at CEC Early College? If your teen is interested in taking classes part-time at CEC, our largest district professional and technical program high school, their eligibility to take classes is dependent on the type of professional or technical program that is aligned with their goals for after high school and their transition IEP. It is dependent on the type of program because they each have their own unique entrance requirements. Check with your teen's case manager because CEC has a process of applying in both the spring and fall for the upcoming semesters of part-time courses. You can also call the special education team at CEC to ask any questions by calling the CEC main office at 720-423-6600. Ask about your teen's school's transportation options to CEC. Traditional, larger high schools have transportation through a busing network to CEC. Smaller schools can access this network, but there is a coordination process through your child's IEP case manager, and transportation may or may not be available. Just ask. Accommodations are provided for instruction at CEC if student meets the requirements of the pathway. If your teen attends a charter school, some charter schools have a standing agreement with CEC to have their students participate in part-time coursework. Check to see if your teen's charter school or the charter school your teen is interested in attending has that agreement. My teen is enrolled in a center program. What do the names of the center programs mean? MI means multi-intensive and is typically for students with cognitive impacts. MIS means multi-intensive severe and is usually for the most highly impacted cognitive students that also have medical needs. AN stands for affective needs and is for youth that have social emotional needs to where they benefit from strong structured behavioral and social emotional supports to build their social emotional awareness and skill base. A PLEX program stands for pragmatic language and expressive language needs. This is for higher functioning students on the autism spectrum with communication and behavioral needs that cannot be met in the mild-moderate classroom alone. MIA stands for multi-intensive autism and is typically for students with autism with more intensive communication and behavioral needs. DHH is for our deaf and hard of hearing students that need these services. Visually impaired and blind is for our students with vision impairment or blindness that need those services. My teen is enrolled in a center program. Will my student get a regular diploma? Most students receive a regular diploma, and there are a large variety of options for students in center programs to earn diplomas. Talk to your teen's case manager about the different pathways to a diploma your teen has that are aligned with their post-secondary goals outlined in their transition plan. All students with IEPs have the opportunity to earn a diploma through pathways tailored to their needs and goals. Just ask. How will I know whether my teen should go to college or not? To answer this question, there should be a discussion of the post-secondary goals in their IEP and whether or not their goals require college education in the long or short term. This is an important discussion that your teen's IEP team should be discussing annually because each teen's goals change as they learn and experience more each year in high school. These discussions should be centered on what matches their current post-school goals, their developed and developing abilities, and their potential readiness for the environments they will be in each day as a result of their post-secondary goals in career, education and training, and independent living. Be aware of the many college options now available for youth with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Check out the federally funded programs at Colorado State University, Arapahoe Community College, University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, University of Northern Colorado Certificate Programs, and the Inclusive Higher Education Certificate Program at Metropolitan State University. For federally funded college certificate programs for youth with intellectual and developmental disabilities outside of Colorado, Google search Think College. If my student isn't going to college, what other after high school options are available to them? Just remember, college means so many different types of higher education. Consider if technical colleges or community colleges have 2-year, certificate, or professional programs that match the training and education needed for them to reach their post-secondary education and training goals. If your teen is interested more in professional and industry-led training, check out industry internships and apprenticeships through Workforce Center Adult or Youth Services. The Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, or WIOA, out-of-school youth services provide navigators and supports to connect to these programs through workforce centers. If your teen would benefit from more supported training and education, consider if the School to Work Alliance program or the Department of Vocational Rehabilitation Pre-Employment Transition Services are the best fit as they transition from high school to adulthood. Also, if your teen has an intellectual or developmental disability, consider a connection to Community Center Board services through Medicaid that support career and work readiness skills. Choosing the right high school option is a process that should be informed by the potential goals, interests, and dreams of a teen. Sometimes a change in high schools is necessary for a student to have access to the programming they need to get the skills and preparation to achieve their goals for after high school. Hopefully this screencast gave you some information to consider and ask questions about as you talk with your teen's current or potential high school team. Reach out to your teen's case manager to start a conversation about the different programming options to support them achieving their goals for after high school.